Hey everybody, we're back again today to discuss Conquest, and here we're going to talk about Sector 1. As we all know, Conquest restarted again last time after CG's issues with the previous launch. We now know all of the mini-bosses, all of the end of sector bosses, and all of the revised feats. So we're going to go over that and just have a chat and see what the best way to progress is, in my opinion. So the Sector 1 feats are attack out of turn 100 times, score 200 crits, gain advantage 40 times, defeat 30 units with Phoenix squad units, win 14 battles with bounty hunters, and attempt to inflict potency down 40 times. Our mini bosses are Padme Amidala, and for her we're going to have to do 3 battles, once with a light side squad, once with a dark side squad, and once with an underside squad. And the main boss is Qui-Gon Jinn, where we're going to have to win with a full separatist team, no tanks in our team, and inflict stun 20 times. So if we're going to work with the bounty hunter team to get the 14 wins, we have a number of different options here. If we think that our Cad Bane bounty hunter team is good enough to sneak through a couple of nodes, we can use Cad Bane lead, as his leadership allows bounty hunters to gain advantage when they inflict a debuff, which will work on our critical success feat. We also have the option of Django or Boss lead, as they're superior leads, especially Django with his plus 30 speed for the whole team, and then allowing his burning to prevent turn meter gain, which can be quite important against a lot of teams. But basically, we're going to take our most powerful bounty hunter units, Zam at gear 13 with decent speed, very important, especially with a Django lead, and very powerful. But basically, we have Bosk and Grief to give us a lot of attack out of turns for our opportunistic attack feat, and the team generally has quite high crit chance, so we're going to work towards the lucky shot feat as well, though the lucky shot feat should just come naturally as we progress through Sector 1. For Kalikori, I've put here, it's basically going to take us 5 fights because Night Sisters with Zombie I think have essentially been taken out of the game except for the boss nodes. Honestly, your best bet is going to be Grandmaster Luke leader with the 3 core supports of Hermit Yoda, Wat Tambor, and C-3PO, with ideally just a Gear 12 Ezra Bridger should get through this feat quite easily. Wat Tambor can put the taunt tech on Luke and then the attack tech on Ezra, so Ezra gets a lot of turns and Luke's going to be permanently taunting. Hoda can buff Ezra, C-3PO can buff Ezra. Luke, Hoda, C-3PO can all call Ezra to assist. And basically you're going to get through it. They're not going to be quick battles, that's for sure. Like the ones I did took 3 to 4 minutes, but they weren't particularly difficult. So you can certainly grind through this. Incapacitating strikes, which is inflict the potency down. You just want to build a team, not necessarily with Master Luke lead. It could be with Revan lead. It could be with JKL lead. But basically any team which is going to be set up to feed a lot of attacks into Grandmaster Yoda. Grandmaster Yoda using his basic a lot. Every time he uses his basic, he's going to try to inflict potency down. So you should be able to get through this feat very quickly. And also this team's very powerful. It doesn't really struggle versus a lot of teams, especially in Sector 1. So you're going to be able to get through a lot of nodes early on with this team to help you progress. For the mini-boss, we have Padme Amidala. We have a light side team. So we can use the Jedi Master Luke, or Revan, or JKL lead, basically the Grandmaster Yoda team. We could also use the Kalikori team, though you might struggle to get the damaging quick enough to kill the Qui-Gon Jinn, and he's actually the problem of the Padme team. If you're going to fail, it's because Qui-Gon goes off. You can also use your Bounty Hunter team for the Touch of Darkness feat. If you're skipping the Bounty Hunter feat in this sector, might be easy enough to just rattle this off with a Palpatine lead team. Or if you have SLKR, you could cruise through this with an SLKR team. If you're going to do the undersized feat, again, you could do the Palpatine team, or you could do an SLKR undersized team easily, or you could do a Jedi Knight Luke team with Shaq, Hoda, and Old Ben. You could replace Shaq or Old Ben for Grandmaster Yoda probably and still be fine. For the main boss, it's Qui-Gon Jinn Jedis. You have 3 feats for all separatists, no tanks, and inflicting stun. Either of these teams here are absolutely fantastic for this feat. I prefer the Dooku lead because I think that you will get to the stuns faster as the AoEs from the team will trigger the Dooku. But neither of these 2 teams are going to struggle to get this feat done. You don't need a Gear 13 Relic 7 Newt. A Gear 12 Newt's fine. Possibly a Gear 11, but Gear 12's fine. What is going to revive anyone that might die, which is unlikely anyway. GBA is really giving you a tank without giving you a tank for the feat. You want to put the heal tech from Watt onto GBA, the attack tech from Watt onto Dooku, because we want to feed him as many turns as possible as he's going to do the most stuns. And then the taunt tech onto GBA's Brute. So, as a rough breakdown, now this is the what I think is going to be the minimum battles required and the maximum battles required if you're solely progressing with the teams required for the feat. And I don't think you should do that for Sector 1 because I think you really want to have access to the data disk before you try to grind out your bounty hunters, because they just aren't super powerful. Like, they can be very good, but they aren't necessarily super powerful like some of the other teams you have access to, like CLS, Troopers, Empire, and any of the GL teams. But the best bet, I think, is going to be 24 to 26 fights, because you've got to do 5 for your Kalikori, you've got to do 14 for your Bounty Hunters, somewhere between 1 and 3 for your Potency down. Maybe you shave a couple of battles here because you're working your Potency down or Kalikori feat for your light side team, or your Bounty Hunters are good enough to do the dark side here. But you're going to need 1 for the undersize and 1 for the end boss. So you're looking at 24 to 26-ish battles for this sector. But I think the strategy you want to go for is to use your most powerful teams. Obviously, use Bounty Hunters if you're very confident that they can beat a node. But you should speed through with powerful teams. That's going to give you more access to data disks earlier, which is going to allow you to come back in when you've progressed through further to mop up this zone, this sector and the feats here with relative ease, even if it's going to cost you an extra refresh or 2. You should be looking to complete the boss feats with the teams we've talked about above. You can skip the dark side one if you think you could do the dark side one with a Bounty Hunter team later after you have access to data disks. You should complete all of the feats related to Jedi Master Luke, as that's going to help your efficiency on energy spending as you're progressing feats with a team. And you just want to get into Sector 2 as soon as you possibly can. And for anyone who saw my live stream of the previous Conquest before it got cancelled, do your best to avoid Jawas. Do not underestimate them. Their modifier is absolutely ridiculous. So you should really try and stay away from those where you can. I had a horrid time. I even lost with JML versus them until I got very tilted and had to use Kenobi. So this was just a little summary of Sector 1. Hopefully you found it useful. If you did, like, comment, subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, share with anyone you think might get some benefit out of this. Share it with your guilds, your shards. You can join my Discord server. That's going to have a link in the description. There we're going to talk more about Conquest, but we also talk about GA, TW, Arena, modding, counters to all the teams. We're really trying to build up a good knowledge base there of every aspect of the game. I'm also going to be streaming more on Twitch, so I'm going to put a link to Twitch in the description. If you feel like checking out the live stream, that'd be much appreciated also. So hopefully this was useful, and hopefully you too can get through Conquest relatively easily and efficiently. Thanks, and see you again soon.